Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of ReaperCast. I'm going to divert you guys a bit from the Crusadia stuff, and today we're going to be focusing on a few new cards here, also coming out in Battle of Chaos. Again, this is a set that I'm really excited for. It's definitely being hyped up quite enough to the point where I really want to buy this particular set, and of course I'm really curious about the remaining cards in here and the potential support that they might have. So today we're going to be talking about some more newer support, I guess, for newer archetypes. So what I mean by this is the Icejades. So the Icejades are one of the most newest archetypes that were introduced, and to see that it's actually getting support in this, it's quite promising for an archetype to get further support beyond the introductory set. So with that being said, it is definitely going to be quite exciting here, but we are going to be talking about a few other cards as well. It's just that 5 of the cards happen to be the new Icejades. However, there's a lot to go over, so let's just start. But before I do, let me remind you guys to drop a like, share, comment, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed this kind of content. With that being said, let's begin. So the first card we have over here is called Cosmocraw, the Icejade Imperatrix, a level 10 water aqua effect monster of 1500 attack and 3000 defense. Nice to see a bit of differences there in terms of the focus being defense in this one. You can only special summon this card's name by the way of its first effect once per turn. First effect, if there is a face-up card on the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. So being restricted in that particular sense, I guess you can't go for any XC summons, but you know what? It is 1500 attack, so you technically could play Inferno Reckless Summon, bringing out 3 of these to go for rank 10 XCs. Second effect, monsters your opponent controls cannot activate their effects on the field while Ineon Cradle the Icejade Depths is on the field except the turn they were summoned. Now I think that's going to be one of the newer cards that we're going to talk about later on, so we'll just wait until we get to that. Third effect, if your Icejade monster battles an opponent's monster, that opponent's monster loses 1000 attack during damage calculation only. I mean, that's not bad, that's not the best, but I definitely think that the first effect is more than enough to make this deck pretty amazing, already giving you so much flexibility into going into a rank 10. I mean, that's amazing. Next up we have here Agile of the Icejade, a level 3 water aqua effect monster with 1000 attack and 2000 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, if this card is normal or special summon, you could add 1 Icejade spell trap from your deck to your hand. I was surprised that this particular effect didn't come out a lot sooner in the introductory cards, but I guess, you know, it's not too late in this particular circumstance, so not bad at all. Second effect, when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets this card, or when an opponent's monster declares an attack on this card as a quick effect, you can special summon 1 water monster from your hand or graveyard except this card, but return it to the hand during the end phase. Bit similar to a spirit monster. Also, the next time this card would be destroyed by battle or card effect this turn, it is not destroyed. Not bad at all, definitely really nice here. Not as amazing as the first card, but still pretty important in terms of searchability of your spells and traps. Moving on here, we have Kingfisher of the Icejade ship, a level 9 water aqua effect monster, so it's good to see a bit of variety of levels. That way, I guess it's not forcing us to go into just your XC's monsters, and you could potentially go into other stuff as well. So we have over here 2500 attack and defense, so that's consistent there, and you can only use the third effect of this card's name once per turn. First effect, you can target 1 water monster you control, equip this card from your hand to field or field to that target. I mean, that's fine, but we'll have to see what the next effects are actually going to be about. Second effect, an Icejade monster equipped with this card can attack while in face-up defense position. If it does, apply its defense for damage calculation. Wait, hold on, that's actually weird because this card is basically turning your monster into a super heavy samurai monster. I mean, that's pretty awesome, but it's definitely unique, that's for sure. But I wonder why they actually applied it in this particular circumstance. I mean, I guess this deck is more of a defensive deck, but to completely change it into a deck that focuses more so on this super heavy samurai gimmick, it's quite weird, to be honest. As for the third effect, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls with attack equal or less than the equipped monster's defense. special summon this card, and if you do, return that target to your hand. Not bad, a bit of a resource management there, but I think the second effect is definitely going to be something that a lot of people would want to be trying out. Maybe you could pull off a few things there. Keeps your board in a defensive manner to prevent you taking damage, all the while allowing you to attack while you're still in defense. I mean, that's pretty amazing. But of course, our next card here is Ineon, Cradle of the Icejade Depths. So this here was the card that was mentioned earlier. It's a field spell card, fantastic. You can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. First effect, when this card resolves, you can add one of your Icejade monsters that is banished or in your graveyard to your hand. That's fantastic, that's actually very powerful there. Second effect, once per turn, if a monster is normal or special summon, you can target one water monster you control. That target and all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls loses attack equal to that target's original attack until the end of this turn. Not bad at all, definitely fantastic. I like this field spell. Very simple, but definitely very effective, and also that artwork is exquisite. Next up, we have here our continuous trap card, Icejade Erosion. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. You can target one face-up card your opponent controls, destroy one Icejade monster you control, and if you do, negate that target's effects until the end of this turn. Not bad actually, to get a negate out of this, and the fact that this is continuous, I'm not going to complain about that. Second effect, if a face-up water monster you control leaves the field by your opponent, except by being destroyed, you can take one Icejade monster from your deck and add it to your hand or special summon it. Not bad, though pretty specific. Overall, I am definitely very impressed with all of these Icejade cards. However, let's now move on to the other cards. So over here we have Qixing Long Yuan, the Sword Soul Catastrophe. I honestly thought that this would be a Yangzing card, but I guess not. It's a level 10 fire Wyrm synchro effect monster of 2900 attack and 2300 defense. Requires 1 tuner and 1 plus non-tuner Wyrm monsters. You can only use the first, second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. Well, this is a level 10 monster and it's still pretty specific in terms of summoning it, so it better be good. First effect, if you synchro summon another Wyrm synchro monster, you can draw one card. Not bad, but not particularly amazing either. Second effect, if your opponent special summons a monster, you can banish one of them, and if you do, inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. You know, that's not bad. I mean, 1200 damage is still quite a lot. Of course, you can only deal it once per turn, but it definitely helps out in depleting your opponent's life. Third effect, when your opponent activates a spell trap card or effect, quick effect, you can banish this card, and if you do, inflict 1200 damage to your opponent. Alright, that's very specific, but again, I like how it's focusing on just dealing more damage to your opponent. Of course, this card is generic enough for you to be able to play in all Wyrm decks, but that being said, it's not the most amazing out there. I think it's pretty specific to pull off. Now to kind of follow up on that, we have here the Sword Soul Sati, a continuous trap card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, if a card becomes banished, you can target one Wyrm synchro monster or Sword Soul card from your hand, deck or graveyard, or either field. You can banish one Wyrm synchro monster or Sword Soul card from your hand, deck or graveyard, or even field. Okay. Second effect, if this card becomes banished, you could special summon one Sword Soul token. Wyrm Tuner Water level 4 attack 0 defense 0. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck while you control it except synchro monsters. Alright, I'm already sensing that this could actually work out in Metaphys, because Metaphys is actually an all Wyrm type deck. So with that being said, the banishing of this particular effect here to apply to the Metaphys monsters, I think that definitely works out. The third card we have here is Servants of the Branded, continuous spell card. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. First effect, while you control a level 8 or higher Fiend Fusion monster, you can negate any effect of a monster with currently 0 attack or and defense activated by your opponent. It's pretty specific, but to be honest, level 8 or higher Fiend Fusion monster, you could apply that in DDDs, you could apply that in some of the branded decks, I guess, and with that being said, it definitely gives you a bit of interesting negation power given how you could actually apply it. Second effect, at the end of the damage step, if 2 monsters with 0 attack battled, you can destroy the opponent's battling monster. Obviously this is going to be very specific to that particular archetype, but if other decks can pull it off by making your opponent's monster 0 attack or defense, you might be able to pull this off. However, that was pretty much it for today's card, so I do hope you guys enjoyed that. Definitely let me know what you think about this. I do like the Wyrm supports, and the Icejades also have really amazing cards as well, particularly the level 10 monster. But I would like to hear your thoughts on this as well, so do share. But with that being said, thanks for joining me today. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I'll see you all next time.